Most people believe the way to be interesting is to talk about themselves, tell their best stories, drop their best jokes, show off what they know. But here's the uncomfortable truth. People usually don't care. Unless your story connects to them, it falls flat. And that's why some conversations make you magnetic and others leave you invisible. Today, I'm going to break down why talking less can actually make you far more interesting. We all have that instinct. Share more, say more, fill the silence. But more words don't always mean more impact. Imagine talking passionately about your favorite sport to someone who couldn't care less. To you, it's exciting. To them, it's dull. Being interesting isn't about showcasing your world, it's about bridging into theirs. Once you realize that, conversations stop being monologues and start becoming connections. Dale Carnegie wrote one of the best-selling books of all time on human relationships, How to Win Friends and Influence People. His advice? If you want to be interesting, be interested. It sounds simple, but it rewrites the rules. Instead of fighting for attention, you give it. Instead of trying to stand out, you make the other person shine. And the paradox is, when you do that, you become unforgettable. Why does this work? Because humans are wired for it. Neuroscience shows that talking about yourself activates the brain's reward system, the same pleasure centers triggered by food, money, even addictive substances. That's why it feels so good to talk about yourself and why so many people do it without realizing. Think about it. Have you ever shared something you truly cared about and the other person leaned in, asked questions, and really engaged with every word? Didn't it feel like one of the best conversations you've had? That's the dopamine effect in action. Here's the trick. If you create that space for someone else, they associate you with that feeling. They leave thinking, wow, I love that conversation, even if you barely said a word. You don't need to be the centerpiece. You just need to be the mirror that reflects them back to themselves. So how do you actually put this into practice? 3 things. First, ask sharper questions. Don't settle for, how's your day? That's too generic. Instead ask, what was the highlight of your day so far? Specific questions open specific doors. Second, practice active listening. Don't plan your next line while they're talking. Mirror back their words, repeat the last 3, or echo the emotion. That must have been tough, or wait, tell me more about that. Those small cues prove you're tuned in and actually listening to them. And third, let silence work for you. Most people rush to fill gaps in silence, but if you pause after someone finishes, they'll often keep going, revealing something deeper. And that's where real connection happens. I once had someone tell me I was one of the most interesting people they'd met that week. The funny thing is, I barely spoke about myself at all. I just asked specific questions, I followed up, I listened, I let them take the floor. And that's when it clicked. People don't remember you for what you say, they remember you for how you made them feel. Listening creates that. So the next time you're tempted to prove yourself in a conversation, remember this. The secret isn't grabbing the spotlight, it's holding up a mirror for them. Shift the focus, let the other person feel seen and heard, and you'll leave a lasting impression without ever having to fight for it with your words. Talking less doesn't make you boring, it makes you magnetic. And here's where you can put this into practice. This week, pick just one conversation with a friend, a coworker, or even a stranger, and make it your mission to talk less and listen more. Don't rush to share your own story. Instead, ask one extra thoughtful question. Stay curious and notice what happens. You might be surprised. People will lean in, they'll open up, and afterwards, they'll walk away thinking, that was such a great conversation. And here's the fact, it's not because you dazzled them with your words, it's because you gave them the rare gift of being heard. I'll leave you with this. In a world where everyone is fighting and shouting to be noticed, the person who listens stands out the most. So try it once, see how it changes the dynamic, and you'll realize listening isn't just being polite, it's persuasion in its quietest form. And if this idea hits you, a like is the easiest way to push it to someone else who might be interested. I want your perspective too. Drop a comment with your own story of a time listening changed the outcome. I'll be reading them. Subscribe and follow along for more psychology insights. I post videos like this regularly.